Wyln TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Hazleton area students who opted for in-person learning were back in the classrooms today, and our Philip Kaufman has the details.
On March 22nd, students in life skills, special education, and autistic support classes returned to Hazleton Area School District. The rest of the district's student body was allowed to return to class today. Recently, the high school released a bilingual video on social media that laid out the changes students can expect, as well as speaking with staff and faculty on students' return.
We're so excited to have you guys back. No podemos esperar hasta que regresen. We have missed you, and we want to review the procedures with you of how the high school is going to look a little bit different now that we're all returning.
Principal Rocco Petrone summed up the excitement and welcoming attitude of the school.
Students of Hazleton Area High School, we are so excited to have you back for in-person learning. For students in 10th through 12th grade, welcome back. We're excited to see you again. For our 9th grade freshman class, welcome aboard. I hope all of you students enjoyed the video that showed a tour of our building and how we have it set up to maintain the safest environment we possibly can to keep everyone safe and socially distanced. I guarantee you, you will be taught by caring teachers who will offer you an excellent education while maintaining a safe environment. To students 9th through 12th grade, welcome back to in-person learning. We can't wait to see you.
Many of the district's teachers have been vaccinated, and school bus service was also up and running to transport the students. Best of luck, students, as you return to the classroom. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. Governor Tom Wolf and the COVID-19 task force announced that all adults in Pennsylvania will be eligible to schedule a COVID-19 vaccination appointment. Starting tomorrow, April 13th, all adults will be eligible to schedule, as the state needs to maintain its accelerated vaccine rollout. Workers in the state's 1C phase became eligible today, meaning employees who work in industries such as public safety, transportation, and media can now make their appointments. Pennsylvania was originally going to open up eligibility to all adults on April 19th, but moved that date up to tomorrow. So far, providers in the Commonwealth administered over 6 million vaccines and is ranked among the top 20 states for first dose vaccinations. Police are on the lookout for a suspect who fired shots during an altercation in Wilkes-Barre. Police say that 23-year-old Kevin Charles Berg-Titus of Tunkhannock was identified as the shooter. He allegedly fired a weapon at another man outside a tavern on North Main Street just before 2 Saturday morning. He's facing charges of reckless endangerment, aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and disorderly conduct. Police also consider him both armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to call Wilkes-Barre Police at 570-208-1052. A Hazleton man attempted to flee from police on a mini bike over the weekend. Officers observed 2 males riding their bikes in the area of South Poplar and East Buttonwood Street Saturday evening. According to police, one of the operators was identified as 21-year-old Franklin Castillo Mateo, who failed to stop and continued to flee for several blocks until he was finally taken into custody. He was charged with fleeing or eluding police and several traffic violations. Inmates and prison employees will soon be offered the Johnson & Johnson one-dose vaccine. Nearly half of Pennsylvania's 23 prisons have started to receive the shot. Approximately 39,000 inmates and 16,000 workers will be offered the one-dose vaccination. Prisoners' rights groups have been concerned over the lack of transparency throughout the pandemic and consider this a turning point. The Department of Corrections took down its online dashboard in January, but plans to relaunch it again. In the meantime, there's limited information online about positive COVID cases among the prison population. calling all donors. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton will be hosting a blood drive with the Miller Keystone Blood Center this week. The drive will be held this Thursday, April 15th from noon to 5 p.m. on the first floor of the hospital's Business and Education Center. All individuals 16 and up will need to present a valid identification card. 16-year-old donors require a parent or guardian to complete all fields on the permission slip. All donors are encouraged to complete their medical screenings online prior to arriving for their appointment. The event is by appointment only, so visit giveapint.org or call 570-501-4249 to register. Eligible Penn State students could get funding through COVID-19 relief grants. The university said over $27 million is coming from the Higher Education Relief Fund. More than 23,000 qualified students will receive notification by email to inform them of the amount they're eligible for. The funding is available to students at all Penn State University campuses. There's an important number you need to call before starting any home excavation projects. Wyln's Julie Stefanovich has the scoop on where to call before you dig.
Don't go digging for trouble when it comes to home projects. Instead, officials with PPL Electric Utilities urge residents to make a free call to 811. A crew can then be sent to the proposed work site to mark areas where underground utilities exist. The program was established in Pennsylvania back in the 1970s.
Essentially, the 811 system or call before you dig concept is part of a state law, and it is the Underground Utility Line Protection Act, and it's commonly known as the one-call law or the PA one-call law.
Anyone planning on using powered equipment such as a backhoe to dig is mandated by law to call 811 3 business days prior to excavating.
By notification of that time frame, that they turn around, PA one-call turns around and notifies all the facility owners having underground facilities within your area of scope of excavation, and they are obligated to mark out their lines or identify them as clear, having nothing there. They would respond back, clear, no facilities, or they would mark them within 2 business days, so that on the 3rd business day, you would be relatively safe to dig.
Once the lines are drawn, everyone needs to stay 18 inches from the marked lines to avoid hitting any underground utilities.
Calling 811 is truly your first line of defense against any type of personal injury or property damage that might occur, because certainly if you hit a gas line, that would impact not only yourself, but the community. Electricity, obviously, you would knock out power and or sewer lines, water lines, cable lines, and you know how important the internet is these days for everybody working at home. So it's an important element in just providing a good, safe, reliable system to the communities that you live in.
Besides the obvious safety risk, people who violate the law can also face hefty fines.
When it's all said and done, the person who does that damage is not only liable for the repairs and the release of a product like gas or water. They would charge you for how much gas was released, how much water was released. You're going to run the risk of potentially being fined by the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. They are the enforcement group for the one-call law. And if they deem that you are in violation of the law, they can fine you for each violation $250 at a minimum and up to $2,500 as a maximum.
So the bottom line is, know what's below before you take on an excavation project. Call 811 and provide your location and project details, or visit pplelectric.com for more information. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. And coming up on Wyln News, a public health alert on ground turkey and a change to deer season. Plus, find out who Marty's talking sports with this week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is LJ. I'm 9 years old, and tomorrow's gonna be sunny. I hope you have an amazing day.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. If you were ever thinking about trading your car, bring it in now. Trades are at an all-time high. Bring your late model in, you'll get a couple grand more than you did a couple months ago. If you're looking for a car, we've got a huge selection of GMC, Buick, Chevrolets. We've got Nissans. We've got a whole bunch of vehicles. We even have Chad Thomas. We even have Chad Thomases. So if you're looking to buy a Chad Thomas, a Buick, a Chevy, a Cadillac, come see us at Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton, and see where we take the deals the other guys won't.
The USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service issued a public health alert for thousands of pounds of raw ground turkey. Approximately 211,406 pounds of raw ground turkey products produced by Plainville Brands LLC, a Pennsylvania establishment, may have caused salmonella illness. However, a recall was not requested since it's believed the products are no longer available for purchase. That being said, FSIS is concerned that some may be frozen in consumers' freezers. Those who have purchased these products are urged to not consume them and instead throw them out or return them to the place of purchase. The PA Game Commission approved combining antlered and antlerless deer hunting through the duration of the 2021-22 firearms deer season. The Commission's 2020 Deer Hunter Survey indicated that 52% of hunters who participated favored the idea of a 2-week season. Last year, 10 of the state's 23 wildlife management units had 2 weeks of concurrent buck and doe hunting, while the other 13 had 1 week of buck-only hunting, followed by a week of concurrent hunting. Commissioner Mike Mitrick said hunters' fears that a 2-week season would mean too many doe shot were unfounded. Commissioners also approved the use of digital licenses in place of standard paper ones. Wyln's all-time OT hero Marty Burns was drafted to the news for the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off season across our viewing area. This week he's chatting with Crestwood boys basketball coach Mark Atherton. So let's talk sports. Here's part 1.
This week our special guest is Crestwood head boys basketball coach Mark Atherton. And Coach, thanks a lot for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Mark.
And as we had talked about last week with Coach Phillips, 2021, a year that I don't think any of us will ever forget, with so much uncertainty when the calendar was turning from 2020 to 2021. For you and for so many teams, not only in our area, all over the country, not knowing if you were even going to get a season in.
Yeah, I think that was the tough part. We try to have the kids ready. We try to, going back to May, try to do some of the same stuff, but not in the gym. So we had to be creative. I'm good at delegating, so I had my assistant coaches figure out how Zoom calls, how we were going to do our stuff. And when it came time for the season, or I'll even go into October, we were shut down in October after 2 weeks of open gym. So that was one shutdown. Then we were going to be open up in November, normal. And our school board decided, and our superintendent, they were going to put a waiting period on it for us. So that was the middle of December. That got pushed back to December 7th, and that's when we started. So everybody was affected by COVID in some way. We were affected a lot earlier with some shutdowns. And then as we progressed, we were in pretty good shape of not getting shut down. But the not knowing the next day if you were going to get a call, there was an exposure, there was something, was what made it difficult.
Coming up on Old Forge's News Choice, details on an upcoming luncheon for veterans and community in you. Plus, who's leading the way this week? Stay with us and find out.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to talk to Jill Lallery and Dr. Alex about how chiropractic could not help her. She needed surgery, but she came back, and now we can still help her, so stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Community and You. I'm Philip Kaufman, and we are joined by the president of the Hazleton Rotary Club, Donna Barna. So, folks, there's an event coming this way for those who have served, for our veterans out in the area. That's going to be happening at a restaurant close by to where we are right now. Why don't we talk a little bit about that event coming up?
So that event is our Veterans Dinner. We are having it on Saturday, April the 17th from 11:30 to 3 at Booty's Restaurant down at the Churchill Mall. The veterans need to call and make a reservation. Contact Kathy O at koh@physical.com or call her at 570-501-1808. It is on a first come, first served basis. So we would like to invite our veterans to come in so that we could say a little thank you for all that you have done for us and our community.
And the idea of this luncheon, how did that all come together with the Rotary Club deciding, to honor our veterans?
So this year is our centennial year with Rotary. So we put a committee, a centennial committee together, and we brainstormed on 10 ideas that we wanted to have for our centennial. And treating our veterans to a luncheon was foremost one of the top priorities that we wanted to take care of this year.
And outside of the event for the veterans, I believe the Centennial, you guys have planned other events too. Could you tell us a little bit about those events that are also going to be coming up, things that people can look forward to in the future?
Yes. So if if the community knows Hazleton Rotary, we do an awful lot in the community. And we're always here to help those in need. So some of our projects, we decided to do 10 projects this year, and some of the projects that will be coming up after our Veterans Dinner is, in May, we're going to do our trade scholarship and our regular scholarships that we do throughout the Hazleton Area School District. In June, we are looking to name one of the playgrounds in the community, Hazleton Rotary Park, and we're going to try to revitalize a playground here in Hazleton. July, we are looking to purchase a police dog and have training with an officer. So it would be, I believe it's a drug dog that they're looking to purchase. In August, we're going to do the carbon monoxide detectors with the fire department. September, we always give out dictionaries to the 3rd grade students of the Hazleton Area School District. Unfortunately, last year we were not able to do that because of COVID, so we're going to double that up this year. In October, we are going to work with the Valor Clinic to do some kind of a food and clothing drive. November, we always do our kids' coats. We give brand new coats to the underprivileged in the Hazleton Area School District. They're brand new coats that we give out. And we've been doing that for many years, and we usually give out between 350 and 400 coats a year. And then in December, we do our shopping spree. We take 30 children shopping for Christmas. So they're the projects that we have planned. And then in between all this, we are looking to do a gala, a big event, sometime probably in October.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot coming
We have
up.
a lot going on this year.
And how do you feel just as president? Are you excited for everything?
I am really excited because, I started my presidency, as a virtual, everything's been virtual. And we were able to go back to our in-person meetings. We just had our first in-person meeting last Wednesday. And we're doing virtual and in-person, so we're doing a hybrid meeting. And it turned out fabulous. So I'm really excited for this year and all that we do in the Hazleton Rotary Club.
Well, thank you for talking with us. It's always a pleasure to see what Hazleton Rotary's up to. Folks, looks like there's a lot of events coming your way. If you're a veteran, there's an event coming right your way.
It's this Saturday, April 17th from 11:30 to 3, and you'll need to call Kathy O at 570-501-1808 to make your reservation.
Perfect. All right, folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us here on Community and You on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
Wyln's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Safe Zone Eileen Perchak's leading the way into Autism Acceptance Month to kick off this week's series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This week, we're joined by our Eileen Perchak, who is the Executive Director for Supporting Autism in Families Everywhere, otherwise known as SAFE. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So, why don't we start off this week? Let's talk about the beginning. Tell us about being a kid, growing up, and then what led you, the schools and everything that led you to where you are now.
Oh, that's a great story. I don't know, some of it I'll omit because, a little bit of a misspent childhood. I grew up in the Pocono Lake area, Arrowhead Lake. I am a graduate of Pocono Mountain High School. I was going to go to school in Colorado, and I chickened out about 2 months before I left. So I wound up at Keystone College. Went to Keystone. After Keystone, I went to Shippensburg. I was a business major. My goal as a child was to be a funeral director. But as I was growing up, the business world looked, beautiful and glamorous because my father was a salesman and he took people out to dinner and wined and dined them, and that looked pretty glamorous then, I wound up being a business major. I worked for R.J. Reynolds Tobacco for many years. Then when I met my husband and got married, I resigned to raise my family. I have 2 children. I have a son, Michael, who is on the autism spectrum, and he is 24, and I have a daughter, Madison, who is neurotypical, and she is 21.
And kind of just where did it go from, you start your family and then you get to SAFE and...
Well, they say life changes you and you become, kind of what your children are doing, and, you kind of progress along with them. After Michael was born, I had no problems in my pregnancy, and he had a, so-called typical birth, and we didn't realize anything was kind of askew because I was a little bit older when I had Michael. So I just thought I had this really good baby, and, he would watch the same movie over and over, and so I got very active as the children got older. I was in the PTA and all of that. And we started to notice that Michael just wasn't progressing like the other children. He was academically, but socially he was not. So after his diagnosis, it was, all hands on deck. We didn't have any services here in Northeast PA at that point. So I had to travel to Hershey for services. And that is, essentially what led me to be so passionate about the autism community.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as we continue into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.